Part of the fun of ordering stuff on AliExpress is it's not like Amazon where you order it and the next day it shows up at your doorstep. It's more like the old days where you order something and then you wait a week or two or sometimes longer for it to arrive. If you're wondering why that's fun, well, by the time I get the stuff, I've forgotten what I've ordered, so it's kind of like buying a gift for myself. AliExpress runs these specials all the time where you buy 3 things and you get free shipping, or $10 worth of stuff and you get free shipping. So I ordered something a couple of weeks ago and it arrived today. Let's see what we got. Someone asked me on my last AliExpress video how the packaging is, and it's pretty much this. Stuff comes in a plastic bag and you're lucky if there's any padding. All right. There's the stuff. Let's see what we have. First up, something else in a bag. This is a set of stop collars for drill bits. Cool. Next up, another bag. Oh, this is a toolless collet for my Dremel. I have no idea if that's actually going to fit. I think this is the right size, but we'll find out shortly. All right, well, obviously this is a wireless microphone. I'm using one right now that looks very similar to this, but sometimes the sound isn't great, so we'll see how this stacks up. Next up, this looks like a router bit. It is a router bit. This is a round nose bit that I can use for cutting boards. Feels pretty sharp. We'll have to test this out. Next up, another bag. It could be in here. All right, at least this bag is padded. Oh, this looks like another router bit. More plastic, more plastic. This is a T-slot bit. This is for cutting T-slots, so we'll have to test this out. Actually, this feels not that sharp. All right, I don't have high hopes for that one. Last padded envelope. What's in here? Oh, it's a card scraper. Cool. Actually feels like it kind of has a burr on it. I'll have to sharpen that up and see how that works. Kind of hard to screw up a card scraper though. The first thing I think I want to test is this wireless microphone. I record with an old iPhone that I don't use anymore, and this is compatible with an iPhone, so let's see if this is any better than the one I'm using now. While I am opening this, this cost me $3.39. So again, I don't have high hopes, but what's the worst that could happen? All right, pretty classic AliExpress packaging, just a little bit of plastic. But here's the receiver. Here's the microphone. Comes with a USB-C charger. All right, let's see if it works. Unfortunately, the microphone has to charge, so we'll have to wait on that. So instead, I will try the stop collars. These cost me $1.52. These are metric stop collars that I plan on using with these 6 and 5mm drill bits. This is a 3D printed stop collar that I printed for my 5mm bit, but if you can see here, it doesn't actually sit straight. It's angled like that. So let's take this off and we'll try the new one. It also is sitting at an angle, so that's not a huge surprise. Well, I got both of these on and they both work well. It's hard getting them to be perfectly straight though, because the set screw either has to sit against the rim of the bit or in the groove. If it sits in the groove, it makes it all cockeyed, but this seems to be okay. My biggest complaint about these is that there aren't any markings on these about what size they are. I guess that's not a deal breaker, but I can definitely see myself using these. Next up, I think I'm going to try the collet for my Dremel. This was $1.49. I'm hoping that it fits. If not, well, I guess I'm out $1.50. Here is my very old but still functional Dremel. The problem that I have with it is that you need a wrench to change the bit. You use this button to lock the collet in place, and then you have to use a wrench to lock or unlock it, and that's a pain. So let's remove this collet, and let's see if this fits. Oh, it does fit. Look at that. So now I should be able to change bits without the wrench. All right, let's see if it actually holds a bit though. I'll try with one of these little carbide burrs. Put it in there. That seems to hold it very well. And then, nice. Let's actually plug this in and make sure that this bit doesn't spin out of the collet. Safety goggles are on. I have this piece of oak. Let's see if this works. That appears to hold it very securely with no run out. I'm very happy with this. For $1.50, oh yeah. I'm going to test this card scraper. It's just a piece of steel that's been cut out, similar to this cabinet scraper that I already have. I paid $12 for this one off Amazon several years ago, and this one is $2.66. It's used for scraping curved areas, so let's see if this works. The main thing that I use cabinet scrapers for is getting burn marks off of edges like this. There are lots of other things that you can use them for, but that's my main reason for using them. So my other card scraper works pretty well, but clearly needs to be sharpened. So let's see how this one works. I have not sharpened it. I want to see how it works straight out of the box, even though there was no actual box. Plus, I know that I'm using a curved surface on a straight piece, but this is just for testing. Well, it does actually cut. The surface that it leaves is actually fairly smooth. I think just a little bit of touching up with sandpaper would take care of that pretty quickly. I am very happy with this for $2.50. Next on the list is going to be this slot cutting bit for my router. I got it to replace this slot cutting bit that I've used to make homemade T-track. You can see that this one, my old one, makes a very, very narrow slot. This one should cut a nicer one, as long as it actually cuts. Let's go find out. Here's an example of a T-slot that I cut with my current bit. You can see it's just not very wide, so there's not a whole lot of space here on those two shoulders for the T-nut to press against. I've installed a new bit in my router table, and I'm going to try it with this old Play School playing block. This is from the 60s or 70s. It was my wife's when she was a child. I think it's made of pine. It's very, very light, so we'll give that a shot. Well, I'm not sure if you noticed that while I was cutting it, but I hadn't actually locked the fence down, so the cut didn't exactly go as planned, but the cut itself is incredibly smooth. That cut through like a hot knife through butter. I am extremely impressed. Comparing the cut quality, here is again that cut from my old router bit. You can see here there's a good amount of fuzz from where the router bit just wasn't very sharp. This is also pine, so the router bit shouldn't have had any problem with it. And then you compare that to the cut from the new bit, and that is just beautifully clean. Now, what I haven't mentioned is that this bit was $1.49. And for the cut quality that it just gave me, I could not be happier. So now I have this round nose bit. Let's see if it cuts half as well. We're back over at the router table. I actually locked the fence this time, so let's see how this goes. All right, let's take a look. Admittedly, I took a very deep cut. The cut quality is okay. It's not great. After the performance of the last bit, I had high hopes for this one, but the quality here is just okay. There's a little bit of tear out here, so it would still have to be sanded. The quality is decent, but it's not great. I would definitely have to take multiple shallow passes, but for $1.02, I can't be too upset. I don't expect to be using this bit very much, really only for making juice grooves and cutting boards, so I may end up getting a more expensive bit. This one, on the other hand, is definitely going to replace this one. Well, I would say that was a pretty good success. I forgot to mention that this microphone was $3.39, which brings the total for all of these tools to $12.07, including tax, with free shipping. For now, I would say that the T-slot bit, the collet for the Dremel, and the microphone are all strong buys. The card scraper and the depth stops are okay and probably worth the money. The round nose bit, I'm still not sure of. Was it worth $1? Probably, but it's still probably not good enough for what I actually need. I'll leave links to all of these tools down in the description below. Keep in mind, AliExpress has a lot of different sellers selling the exact same items for different prices, some with free shipping, some with not, so make sure you look carefully. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me, and it's a huge help for small channels like mine. Liking and commenting also really helps to spread the video to a broader audience. And if there are any other types of videos you'd like to see, just leave a comment, let me know. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you next time.